Salutations, beautiful beings. Welcome back. I'm super excited to share my blog with you. This blog was actually the catalyst for my free ebook called A Journey to Sacred Rest. And the link to that ebook is listed below. So if you really like this content, you can dive into that, and that actually will help take you into a more transformative and expansive experience, because not only does it have information in the ebook that basically explains the walk, the journey that I took to find sacred rest, despite what my mind was telling me or what the outside world was showing. It also helps you by having prompts for reflection, affirmations, prayer, and journaling. Okay, so yeah, let's dive into the blog. The blog is actually titled How to Rest When Your Mind Won't Let You, a Metaphysical Perspective. If you're here, chances are you're searching for rest. Not just physical rest, but deep, soul level rest. The kind that quiets your mind, softens your body, and frees you from the spinning thoughts of fear, worry, and what if. You've come to the right place. What I'm about to share may stretch your thinking depending on your background or beliefs, but that's okay. This space honors all paths. Whether you call it God, Source, Creator, or something else entirely, the goal here is to move beyond your past experiences and into the metaphysical truth of who you really are. Because when you remember that truth, rest becomes natural. When rest feels impossible, let's get real. Have you ever been in a moment where everything around you felt like it was falling apart? Where your mind wouldn't stop racing with fears about the future or regrets about the past? Last year, just 3 months after leaving the military, I found myself in that exact place. My business had slowed down, bills were piling up, I was getting constant notices about delinquent payments, and I lived in fear of my car being repossessed or my house being foreclosed on as a single mom. I remember hearing phantom tow trucks outside, and it was all coming from my mind induced by stress. It felt like my whole world was crumbling. And had it not been for the metaphysical tools I'm about to share with you, I don't know how I would have made it through. The truth about resting in God. One of the greatest teachings that helped me was from A Course in Miracles, and this comes from Lesson 109, I Rest in God. Here is the end of suffering for all the world. In Him you have no cares and no concerns, no burdens, no anxiety, no pain, no fear of future, and no past regrets. These aren't just beautiful words. This is a call to return to the truth of who you are, a divine, sovereign being, safe, guided, and provided for at all times. When we rest in God, we tap into the knowing that all things are unfolding according to a loving and divine plan, no matter how it looks on the outside and no matter what the mind is saying about it. This rest isn't passive, it's powerful, because it means you're no longer available for fear, anxiety, or self-protection driven by ego. The ego hates rest. The ego feeds off your fear. It thrives when you're hustling, overthinking, worrying, and working yourself into the ground. That's why it spins stories like, you have to do everything yourself, you're not safe, you can't rest yet, there's too much to do. If you don't do it, who will? Sound familiar? The ego can only survive in time, in the past or in the future. But rest lives in the present, in timelessness. And in the now, the ego has no power. You have the authority to say, not today. I know who I am and I rest in God. And this is what the Bible talks about having dominion. We must have dominion over our kingdom, which is our mind. Tools that helped me reclaim my peace. Here's what I practice. Number 1, ask a higher question. When fear starts taking over, ask, what does God know about this? Is this actually true? What would you have me do? This interrupts the ego's loop and invites divine insight to guide you instead. So instead of going down that rabbit hole with the ego, believing what it's saying about what's true and what could happen, we've got to stop and take a step back. What's God knowing about this? Number 2, use this affirmation. None of these things move me. This comes from The Game of Life and How to Play It. It was written by Florence Scovel Shinn, who I learned it from, and she is actually referencing from the Bible, Acts 20:24, where the Apostle Paul was using this affirmation when facing intense danger. And it's still powerful today. When chaos surrounds you, affirm, none of these things move me. It helps you stand in your divine knowing, unmoved by appearances. Number 3, understand the law of one power. There is no power apart from God. Not fear, not lack, not conflict. If you're seeing those things, it's just the result of past programming, and it can be unlearned. As Florence said, there is only one power, not two. And that one power is God, or whatever you call it, universe, source. And we live in a loving universe from a loving God who wills our happiness and wants to take care of us, which I will touch more on in the ebook. Resting is an act of divine reclamation. Rest isn't weakness, it's remembrance. You reclaim your identity as a holy child of God, perfectly provided for. You step out of ego-driven survival and into peace. I didn't do everything, quote unquote, right during that hard season, but I kept coming back to rest. And guess what? We were always okay. The lights stayed on, the car didn't get taken, and obviously the house didn't get foreclosed on. People showed up to help, often out of nowhere, and I learned God had me the whole time. So what would you have to let go of to rest? Maybe you're being called to rest too, but what would you have to let go of to truly do that? The need to control, the belief that you're alone, the thought that rest must be earned. You don't have to carry all of that. You are safe, you are loved, and you can rest now. This brings us to the end of the blog. If this message resonated with you and you want to go deeper, comment below. What beliefs are keeping you from rest now? What are you ready to release? I'd love to hear from you. You can also join my email community to make sure that you're receiving newsletters for any time I have new content or new events. And my email link is in the description box below. And if you decide that you want to jump in for even more immersive help, we grow in community, we change, we heal, we transform rapidly through coaching. And if that aligns with you, check out my website, sacredluminancehealth.com. I am an identity alchemy coach, and I help you shift from the belief that tells you that you are this small, limited being who everything that you know about yourself is wrapped up in the past and all of these negative beliefs and conditioning that create blocks for you standing in your authenticity, bringing the light of your being to the world and everything that comes behind that. So we help transform you to get rid of those blocks so that you can stand in your power, so you can stand in your truth, so that you can have the life that is full of magnetism, ease, flow, divine rest, peace, purpose, prosperity, anything that that you desire can be yours if we remove the blocks. Okay, and also check out that free ebook. All right, all of those links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love.